Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Goggins.
And today we have a topic, a new thing that we've seen.
Brand new. Brand new again.
That's right. And it don't phase me, bro. It don't phase me.
It doesn't phase you? Is that a hint?
It's a hint, yes.
That was also
today
a hint.
we gotta look at the new Discovery phaser, the reimagined phaser for the time era of the cage. It's not this one, but it's similar. Oh, hey, look at it. Don't know where you are on screen.
I'm that way. Oh. Yes, so trailer just released, or a little teaser, and boy, they're doing a good job now releasing little tidbits. There was a ship poster, things that's exciting for the start for the San Diego Comic-Con, which we've heard from inside sources, a lot of good stuff coming out. A phaser is quite important, especially when this is so iconic. This is so iconic. I mean, cosplayers have had this. You know, people have been building these out of wood, out of plastic for literally 50 years. That is a same with the Enterprise. What do you think about this design, Stuart?
I love it. And you know why I love it, Samuel?
Why do you love it, Stuart?
Because it's a nice crossover between what we saw from the Cage and TOS. This is, I would say, post-Cage era, but pre-TOS, and a nice integration of both. One of the things that stands out immediately from this picture is the 3 turret design on the front, which you saw them cranking it to turn it, to change it in the Cage. So yeah, the 3 is a nice callback, and it's kind of a neat feature. I mean, even in the Kelvin timeline, they had the ones that flicked around to do stun and kill. This one has, and it's a nice visual tie-in with the original Cage phaser. But there's so many details that speak to the TOS one as well. I just don't even know where to start.
Well, we'll stay on this general picture for a second. And I mean, if you look at this phaser and look at that phaser, it's almost identical. And that's incredible, considering what we've seen. And obviously, we've not seen Discovery. We know it's set before. We know these things are theoretically quite... We've only seen Shenzhou. Things could be older, therefore look more NX-01-y. We don't know the exact timeline. This could be the brand new phaser. It's clearly, TOS body, cage front, beautiful. What do you take out of the cage? Pistol, nothing. Let's hit 3 prongs, beautiful, done. Yeah, but I mean, look, you've still got that flat front. You've still got secondary pistol, which looks very similar to a line. You've still got. It is ridiculously similar, which bucks the trend of how similar the things they're doing. Previously, like they're trying to be different, but this is so similar that it's surprising, which is great because we want that sort of thing. Should we look at some details, Stuart?
Absolutely.
So why don't you call out, because we've got a whole lot of detail shots, but what do you want to look at first for the detail shots? Because again, really impressive considering what they...
Well, I want to look at one of the most obvious differences between the TOS and this one in particular, because a lot of the other ones are very similar to TOS. Okay. But the first thing that really speaks to me is the trigger. On the Cage one, that was more of a full-length handle trigger almost. You kind of squeezed the whole thing, I guess. I don't know how that worked exactly. I've never actually held a Cage one. This one's got the same style of trigger, only reduced in size, and it's very, and it's very different from the TOS phaser, which is just like a little peg sticking out. So that's one of the most obvious differences that really ties it in with the Cage era as well. That front emitter piece and this trigger are very Cage-like. So those are the things that really stick out to me right away that say Cage. I don't know what you think about that.
I mean, I will say one thing about this phaser. I don't like the trigger because your finger instinctively wants to go high, which means you're pushing. There's no direct down. It's sort of. It's
disagree.
not. I mean, you got to push it like that. I mean, it's fine, but if it was an actual trigger, it would be better, I think. And this is actually, that one step. This makes more sense.
Yeah.
But obviously, they're linking more towards a firearm. The grip you can see here has it's quite similar, but it has more grooves. It has more ribbing. It feels more grip-like as opposed to power pack, just piece of plastic.
Yeah, this handle looks much more similar to the ones from Star Trek 6, like the tactical assault phasers.
Yeah.
Grip-wise, so.
And I do like the 3 holes again. Just it feels engineered. And I will note that it's got a piece. Now, is there another close with this piece? Sort of, but we'll go into. I guess we'll jump between them. But it's got a piece above the trigger and below a little circle thing, which looks like it can be flipped for safe and not safe. And if you jump to picture 2,
this you mean?
no, if you jump to picture 2, it's got the TOS piece, which is beautiful, but behind that you've got a piece which for me looks as if you click it, it goes into safe mode.
Oh yeah, it could be a safety, yeah.
And it is where it would be. I mean, well, sort of. I mean, you can have safety wherever you want, but that would feel very natural to me. But guys, they've included the. I mean, what is that? It's a piece you pull out. I know.
It's like the lithium crystal.
Yeah,
there's a lithium crystal in there.
Yeah, and such a small thing to include, but including it is like they're paying attention and they're respecting what came before and trying to link it, because they haven't been linking to canon as far as we've seen. Again, but beyond story reasons we haven't got to it. But this again links to canon. So that picture 2 looks great. It looks more tactical. If you cut to picture 2.1, which is the front piece, again, look at that machined metal. It looks great. And a little bit steampunky, but that's just, a hardcore cage look.
Yeah, and that's a great melding of the cage tech with the TOS tech. I mean, the TOS look on the front there with the grooves, but it sticks out farther than the TOS one. Yeah. Well, maybe not, because the TOS one's pretty big, but just the way, and
it's almost identical, really.
Yeah, and that's the scene I remember most. One of the things I really remember about the cage and the phaser was the crank in the front piece. I don't know if that one manually turns, or if maybe that thing on the side you said was a safety is an actual. You hold it up and it rotates it for you. That'd be kind of cool as well.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of the barrel idea because it's not a gun, but then again, if each barrel has a crystal which you put energy through, it's got like a default setting. So rather than obviously at the top you can change. I mean, it's like, imagine you can change a setting here 1 to 35, but you got to like manually do this. Imagine if you can flip it to kill, stun, basic stun, like instant. It's like a fully automatic pistol. Click single, click fully auto, click burst. Right. I mean, you could manually load 12 bullets into the chamber, or you could fire. So I can imagine that being quite useful. But you need to have that advancedness to be able to move it into 26 other settings where you can either wide beam, destroy building, as Kirk has said, or just heat rocks, as again we've seen Sulu do. But Stuart, there's one more picture. Picture 4.
Before we get to that picture, there's something I want to talk about with the first picture, the full screen. Now this obviously has a phaser 1 and a phaser 2 component as well. Yep. It's got the removable phaser on there. You can see it cradled in there, and it looks very similar to the TOS one. Again, we don't have a shot of it from the top, so we don't know. Yeah, so we don't know exactly what the similarities are on the top there.
It looks so good. I mean, it looks almost identical. It's got the line. It's got the grill.
Yeah. So I love that functionality that they've included in this one as well, which the cage didn't have. The cage did not have that detachable phaser. So again, this is more of a tie into TOS, but I really like the way they've done it. And the color palette they've chosen is fantastic as well. You got golds and blacks and a little bit of silver, as opposed to just the silver and black of the TOS era. So again, the gold ties in with the cage era, and it's a nice amalgamation of both of them.
Now, I will say, the Enterprise is not the flagship in TOS at any point. It's one of the 12. It's the only one that survives, then becomes a flagship in later eras. But what makes you think the Cage Phaser and Cage Communicator are new at the time of Cage? Is there any reason to think they're new? What if they themselves are, for some reason, 5, 6, 7 years old?
Oh, easily, yeah.
That's a pretty excessive for a phaser, seeing that TNG we see them swap twice. I mean, tech cycle seems to be quicker than that, but say 5 years old, these are the one step ahead. I mean, if this is, yes, you'd have to make an upgraded Cage version that looks a bit sexier, more details, more physical detailing. But if you put the three side by side, it's not bad. Old tech, mid-range tech, simplifies, rather than having 3 barrels, you've now just got one emitter. One emitter does everything, more advanced.
I've got to curse the people at Discovery. I'm sorry, but curse you, because now I have to buy another phaser. Because I'm going to want to add this one to my lineup.
Yes, I do too.
But moving on to the last part.
Well, they've got to do toys. I mean, if they're smart, we have these. The fact that we have them both in arm's reach says something. Okay, please tell me about this last picture, Stuart.
But the last one is the cooling vents, the fins on the back of the phaser. And on the TOS, of course, they're silver. This, they got the gold, again, tie into the Cage color scheme.
Stuart,
but they're called heat sink fins. Yes, they are the same.
They're the same. And it's such a small detail. It's just aesthetic / events, but they're there. They look great. And I will say, if you look at the top, there's a little blue light, a little loose strip light. I would have bet that if you do the angle, I would say that's this bit. That's like a LED screen. They've converted that into that, which I can sort of buy, whatever. And that's what you're seeing over there. Or even, there's a little LED light here, like the communicator. So you remove these, it's now all just a touch screen. So you can beep, 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 beep. Again, I would buy that as well. It doesn't exactly link technology-wise, but hey, we have more advanced. Again, how I said very early on, you take the frame, the look of the phaser, or the communicator, or whatever, you just change the internals. So you give that touch screen, doesn't link to Canon, but at least they're trying. And it's kind of like, hey, this is what it would look like if they had technology, but it still looks and feels the same. So I'm all on board, Stuart. All on board.
Yep. So, yeah, overall opinion, I absolutely love it. I think it's a great amalgamation of both TOS and the Cage, and they did a fantastic job on these. Hopefully we see more things like this, more callbacks, more references to TOS. I know we haven't got a lot of that in some of the ship pictures and stuff we've seen. Unfortunately, a lot of people have complained about that. But this, you can't go wrong. I mean, look at what they've done with this. I mean, it's perfect reimagining. Perfect. Way better than even the JJ movies did at redesigning, retroing the TOS look. Because they look nothing really like the original phase.
Cut to Kelvin pistol, and you're thinking, why is there a steampunk metal...
Why is it silver?
Why is there wrong things? Then suddenly cut to JJ09. Why is it before TOS and yet it's now a silver advanced looking ray gun? Nope, this is TOS/Cage/ a bit of 2017. Or 2016 if it was made before the end of the year. Brilliant. I mean, I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10 because I haven't held one yet. But it's... is this the best thing they've done so far?
I would say maybe. This and the communicator are a close tie. The communicator video that we've done as well, that was pretty nice, but a little too cell phony for my liking with the clock and stuff. So this, I think, would probably be number one. Yeah.
I guess we'll see him every other week. Hey, we'll probably see him a lot. And in tactical holsters, because they have tac holsters now.
I kind of like that because I did a tac holster for my phaser.
Not against it. It's just a bit weird. But again, if that's the strike team equipment, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, the Makos had, I'm sure they had holsters. I don't remember the holsters, but I think they did actually. I think they had holsters. Again, just make them tac gear. Just give it a reason, guys. And that is it for this bonus goodie. Just came out. Review announcement, whatever. Thank you, Discovery, for these new pictures. And I can't wait for San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not going to be here.
So much new stuff, yeah.
But we're going to come back on the Monday, and I think that's our day planned, Stuart. Do we have families? Not on that day.
No, Monday is going to be a total write-off. We're going to be doing Trekyards, recording the whole day, I think.
Jesus.
So,
but you guys asked for it, and we are happy to oblige because it's great.
Absolutely.
This is great.
Yeah. So, hopefully you liked this video. If you did, click the like button. Don't forget to share it around. And if you want to help us out, there's ways to do that. You can click our Patreon link below or head on over to trekyards.com and donate. So it's pretty simple. And like I said, you're going to be seeing a lot of us soon because there's a lot of Discovery stuff coming out. And we're going to be touching on everything because that's what we do here at Trekyards. So
I hope they don't have like actual clips, because it coming off was like a very sort of, it's impractical, therefore it's advanced. Like it's kind of like, well, it's so powerful it has to be fully taken off. I hope there's not like a button that goes they just slam a new one in. It's a bit too gunny for me.
Yeah.
Small thing. I wouldn't mind it, but I think it's a more realistic evolution of now, given that we use clips. Yeah. Magazines, sorry, my dad would have a hard time. So until next time, guys, I am Commander Coffee.
And I'm Captain Foley.
And we'll see you for the next Discovery update.
When we discover more things, yes. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.